Yeah, actually, he'll contact me to figure out how to do it for Arbiter. So,
Sorry, Tina.
yeah, he'll send me the email. Anyway, all right, Robin.
Okay, hang on a sec.
So it's time for me to stop sharing. Are you going to go to the site?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you share is the next thing, or do I need to make you the host?
I don't know. Let me see. I got to get back to Zoom. Okay. Okay, can everybody see my screen? Excellent.
Yes.
Good. I have to move people. Okay, so this is our website, tpcvob.com, and there is a wealth of information on this website. I would encourage you to go through it and take a look at all the drop downs and see what's available to you. A lot of your questions can be answered by going to the website. And one of the things that I like to say the most is that it's not always knowing the answer, it's knowing where to look. And this is the place for you to look. So you can see here's our homepage. Check that out. Judging ball handling. That sounds like a good video to watch. Here's some of our officials. Down here are the meetings. So here's a place to look to find out when the next meeting is. Looks like there's going to be one from the WOA on October 21st, which is this Wednesday. I would encourage you all to be on that Zoom call. It's going to be very interesting. Margie Ray is an NCAA referee, referees a lot of Division I matches. She's been the R1 and the R2 for 7, I think, NCAA D1 championship matches. So she's got a lot of information that she's going to share. All right, so that's the homepage. About, you can find out who's on the executive board for TPC-VOB. Become an official. I think y'all have already done that. Let's see. News. This is pretty cool. You can check out what's been happening, like the e-whistle thing, rules changes is on there. That's always important. All kinds of other stuff to take a look at. We put some kudos up there as well. There's the calendar once again. Officials, this is the place that you will go to most often. Evaluations is something that everybody does in our association. And when you take a look at the Constitution and bylaws, you'll see that there is a fine if you do not complete your required number of evaluations. This is the place where you're going to go to complete those evaluations. Don't go to Arbiter, go to our website. So we're going to take a look at the evaluations. First and second year officials, we have found do better when they evaluate themselves. So you guys can see here, there's evaluation groups, Group A, Group B, first and second year apprentices. That's you guys for right now. So if you scroll down a little bit, you see first and second year apprentice self-evaluation. This is where you enter in some information, home team, level of match, overall match rating. That's how you think the match went. Maybe you had a really hard match and you just kind of felt like you screwed things up. You're going to give it a 2. That's how I felt the match was. 1 is pretty terrible. A 4 is really great. Not all of us give ourselves 4s. Be honest, because this is how you are able to grow, by giving yourself honest feedback and an honest evaluation. It also helps Tina, Steve, and myself create training for other new officials. Maybe there's something that keeps popping up on these self-evaluations that we feel we need to go over during one of our membership meetings. You can see if it says you rate yourself a 2 or lower in any category, please provide some comments. So you can put in there, I'm not going to type it in because I type terribly, but I would put in there, I missed a lot of doubles. I felt like I wasn't in communication with my partner. The score was terrible. I had to replace a line judge, whatever it is. you want to put that in there. And the more specific you are to you, the better off it is for you in the long run. This is also a safe place to comment on your partner, because you're going to get trainers who are going to tell you two different things. Just like Steve said, Tina told him one thing and I told him another thing. And what we need to figure out is what is preferred technique and what's standard technique. So what Steve was talking about was preferred technique. I prefer that he's a little bit more relaxed. Tina prefers that he's a little bit more stiff. I don't know, preferred technique. Standard technique is when there's a double, you put up two fingers. Standard technique. Standard technique is what's written in the rule book. So what you're going to have to do is decide, is this official that I'm working with giving me preferred technique information or standard technique information? If it's preferred technique, then you really need to pay attention. If it's standard technique, take what you want from it, put it in your pocket, think about it, and decide if you want to implement that later. We all have different styles, different attitudes, different ways that we approach the match. And what I challenge to you is when you work with people, you think, nah, I don't want to be like that guy, but I want to be like that guy. And then kind of create your own officiating experience from that information. So that was a long roundabout thing for overall match comments. And then you click the I'm not a robot CAPTCHA thing. And then if you wanted to go, if you have two different partners, let's say you're completing an evaluation for a Tuesday night and a Wednesday night, then you can go right back into it and do another evaluation. If you have two matches on one night, so if it's a JV and a varsity or a 6th grade and a 7th grade, you can combine that in one form. You don't have to do two forms. Just kind of give yourself an average of the evening. Maybe this match was a 2 and I write that in the comments, and this match, the 8th grade match, was a 3. And I'm going to write that in the comments. I was an R1 for the first match and an R2 for the second. I'm going to give myself some information about each position that I did. Good. I can't see everybody, so if y'all have comments and or questions, then just speak up. Okay, here's also the warm-up procedures and match formats as we've been talking about that are in the notebook. There's also venues. You can click on these venues and get to the Google map. So if you need directions, there's the directions and phone numbers. Wow, that's cool. That's for the college officials. Apprentice officials is you guys, 1st and 2nd year. This is our single person mechanic video, and I believe we're going to be watching that later. Is that right, Tina? I can't remember if we're watching it or if that's going to be a homework thing.
Yeah, I don't remember. Well,
Okay.
I have to space things out in longer times than, yeah, so
Okay. We'll let
I'm working
you know.
on the time.
Okay. So here's some,
it's okay.
you want to watch Tina. Training. This is pretty cool because you have training videos and you can, so everybody write this down. Sometimes this information is password protected. The password to get into this is go volley. One word, all lowercase. Go volley. So if something pops up and says you need to enter the password, type in go volley. So you can see here some different information about some training techniques, line judges, that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. I would also encourage you to make sure that you look at this concussion, the fact sheet, so you know what you're looking for if there is a player who you feel is exhibiting signs of having a concussion. Arbiter sports, we are going to go over arbiter at another time. It's a little bit more in depth. I don't think that you guys have, I don't think you have accounts on arbiter yet. Maybe those of you that have already paid for training.
Yeah, this week, after this tonight, we were going to see, because Mark was adding more people. So after this week or after today, sometime later in the week, you will get a welcome letter from Arbiter because I will put you into Arbiter. Once you get that welcome letter, just follow the instructions to be able to set up your account. That way you'll be ready for next week when we do go over Arbiter. and that will help. If you are already on Arbiter, Tina, then what will happen is I will include you to our association, our board, and then you'll just have to do the same thing, just accept it for our board, and then it'll just be added to your account. So then when you go into your account, Tina, it'll show, you know, whatever other board you're a part of, and you'd click on TCBVOB, and you'd click on that as an official. So then you'd be able to go into our area. So that's how that will work. So look for it this week.
So we're going to go over Arbiter next time. One thing that is not on this website that will be soon is a place where you can order supplies. What we do is typically for the fall, we place a large order through Roof Sportswear for whistles, flags, starter kits, anything that you can imagine relating to volleyball. And we order enough items so that we get free shipping. So that link is going to come up at some point. I'm not sure when. We still have to work out how people will pay for it, because now officials are going to be paid through Arbiter Pay. And so those of you that have done Puget Sound, like Coach Brooks, you already have an Arbiter Pay account, so you wouldn't have to do anything about that. But you get paid through Arbiter Pay. And in the past, we would say that officials could order something and then have it taken out of their first paycheck. So you wouldn't have to fork out any money. I'm not sure how that's going to work this year because we don't have that ability with Arbiter Pay. We might have to do a Venmo kind of thing where you're going to have to pay when you order. Don't know, but I will make sure that everybody has the information when it's available. So if you want to hold off on purchasing a bunch of stuff, hold off. We will have a large order coming in at some point, certainly before the season, so that there's enough time that you get your items. And that's it for me. That's all we have on the agenda, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yay.
You guys have any questions or anything that you guys have that we've talked about that you have a question about? Yes, Chris.
Go ahead, Chris.
Well, when you guys were talking about all the equipment, like you were just talking about the coin, all those little things like that, we're responsible for getting that ourselves. Okay, wanted to make sure.
Well, and one thing too, when Robin was saying the ordering of purchasing, so what happens is there's a starter kit that you can get. It has cards, a whistle with the lanyard. It has the net chain, a ball, a gauge. It does come with all of that and the carrying case.
Oh, okay, good.
So that is one of those things that you would be able to purchase.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Perfect.
but the one thing it won't include is an electronic whistle and all those other little things. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So you can go on to roofsportswear.com and kind of peruse that website. That's where we place the order through.
Okay.
There are some things that are not on our order form that are available on Roof. So if you find something on Roof that is not on our order form, you can let me know and I would include that in the order when I place it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Now, how many of you will be doing line judging also? Okay, so one thing to keep in mind too, you might want to purchase a good set of flags, your own flags too. A lot of officials have their own flags. I have mine. I'm gonna probably get new ones because I have the wooden handles and they're getting slippery. So I'm gonna get a different kind so they don't keep slipping out of my hand. So you might want to think about purchasing also your own flags. So you can use your own.
Especially with COVID, if you are a line judge, bring your own flags. You might as well.
So.
And one more piece of equipment that's not on the list that was there is earplugs.
Oh yeah, earplugs.
Not knowing how the electronic whistles are or aren't, and there are lots of different styles. How you're gonna like it for your ears, whether they're the kind of like this that have the baffles or the foam pieces, but earplugs for sure.
I've never used them, and I've discovered at first the little foamy ones that Steve just showed. I lost my equilibrium, So I decided I better find a different kind. So you really do, you can go on Amazon, just read through stuff, see other people's comments. Small, if you think you have a smaller inner ear thing, then it really is a hit and miss with earplugs. Whatever works best for you.
And I'm not
But
trying to
I
hawk
finally found a
anybody.
good pair.
I'm not trying to hawk any particular brand. There was a teacher from Putloff Middle School, and he was also a DJ, and he pulled his earplugs out one time and he said, they're called earpiece, as in peace, P-E-A-C-E, I believe. I have not purchased them. I don't know about them, but I've heard good things. I don't know how much they cost, but might be something worth checking out. I like the kind with the little baffles, the 4 different layers. I don't like the foam ones. Don't get in my ear far enough.
But I agree with Steve. That's what I bought too, was some that DJs used, because I like to still be able to hear the crowd partly and my partner's whistle. So there's things I still want to hear. With some of the foam ones, it closes everything out. And so it's really hard to hear some of the details. But like Steve says, the one that has different layers, that really does, I've noticed for myself too, that it helps better. So
I use the foam ones and I cut them because they're usually too long and I have little ears. So I cut them and then cram them and shove them in there because I don't want to hear what anybody has to say.
And she's not taking advice from anybody.
not. She don't want to hear crap from no one.
Y'all know me, that's not true.
I know.
I'll take my earplug out.
She's the best.
Don't
All
hesitate
right.
to contact us if you need something, and we'll see you on next Sunday, unless you guys have questions.
Yeah, hopefully you guys are on the call on Wednesday, October 21st. If you did not get the email with that Zoom link, raise your hand. If you don't know, go ahead and look back. And if you didn't, you can email me and I'll forward it to you.
Well, and I think Mark, it came out through WOA, but it also came out through Mark. He forwarded it. So you
Forwarded
probably
it.
got it twice. So
Mhm.
And
Okay.
thank you so much for your flexibility this evening. Sorry about the
Yeah.
technical problems. Next Sunday, we're not sure where the link will come from, but we'll try to make sure it's straightened out before we send it out.
Yeah.
Or we'll end up with 4 of us being the host for the original meeting instead of just one of us.
It'll probably come through me.
yes, I was gonna say, the other thing, so next week, just to give you guys a heads up, we will be going over signals. So if you get a chance to go in the rule book and look at the signals, I would do that just to prepare you for that. And we also will go over arbiter. So signals, arbiter, and the duties of an R1 and an R2, because there are differences of what they do. So we'll probably go over that. So,
Okay.
ready?
We good? All right, everybody. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thanks,
for
guys.
Thanks all.
showing up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Do you like the animations? I mean, super simple. That was something quick and easy that I can do again. So
I was gonna do those, but I
Okay.
was busy.
I didn't, because when you said, Robin, will you host? Because Tina, you said you're not a fan of doing screen share and that sort of thing. So if you're
No.
kind of up and down with tech, me too. I'm actually up and down with tech.
I just didn't have time. And I was so frustrated because I had initially, the first one I sent to you guys, because I knew I was going to have to do some editing. Every time I went and edited and added new slides, it wouldn't save it. And I was just I did it 5 times. I was so frustrated. And I just finally, my husband, I don't know what he did. He's a tech teacher. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing any animation. I'm sorry. I'm done.
It has something to do with the PowerPoint. Like
It does. Well, and I know, and I don't know, because I've done PowerPoints before where I've saved it and then I went back in and did more. I
Yeah.
don't know why it wasn't saving. I don't know. So I will work on the new one this week, for next week. And I'm trying to find, I don't know if Robin, do you have a way of just getting the picture so it's bigger? We can see what it looks like. Because I can't find because I can see with all of the little ones. but I don't know how to make them bigger.
You mean in the rule book?
Yeah,
The signals?
yeah.
Um,
'Cause I thought it would be good to see the signal in the rule book, but I can't.
well, everybody should have a rule book.
Okay,
So we can just have them
look at
refer
it.
to their rule book. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And
Yeah.
if something's unclear, then, we can highlight that one. I'll see if I can, because it's not that many pages. I'll see if I can scan it and
Make it
then use the snipping tool to try to make them larger. I'm not sure if the quality of it will be that good, but it'll at least, and sorry, my camera does that. It fuzzes in and out.
Steve, you could Google it first to see if
Yeah,
it's already
yeah.
separated.
Yeah, that
That
would,
might be
yeah,
a little-
I'll just do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
I'll look on the website again. I don't know. But anyway, okay.
And if
But
you're
I'm gonna-
feeling
I'll work on
overwhelmed, if you get it the same way, if you just create it and you send it to me, hey, I can do a little bit and add animations to it as well.
No worries for
I'm
me.
happy to host
That
again.
was great.
That works.
Good job, Steve.
Hey, I'm glad we managed to pull it off there. That was just like, come on. And then how many people were actually going to join us? Because since the list was 17, it was like, and what do we have? 3 rows. Do we have 10? Was it actually 10? Or was it only 7?
No, because 10
Oh,
included
it
all
was
of
7.
us.
There were 3 rows, 2 rows of 3 and 1 at the bottom. Yeah, only 7 people.
So we are still recording. Are you able to edit